First things first, the giveaway. Winners will be announced at the end of the video, and to SSKK who told me I remind them of Owen Wilson.
Come on.
Let off some steam.
Welcome to episode 7 of Let Off Some Steam. Today we have a game I'm sure you've all seen and thought, what the hell is that? And then forgot 2 seconds later when you look for something else to pass the time. Well, you're right to do so because I can think of 744 better things to do. Yeah, it's one of those games. God, this game's a mess. Yeah. Alright, the first 30 minutes, you're with your buddy, Caslo, a monk. Something's going on here, nobody tells you what, and the first thing you see is a big meathead demon dude.
You got Roy, bro!
This is your combat tutorial. Everything you need to know is just dropped on you in the first fight. Text well done, and immediately have to get used to my attack timing, demon chat's attack patterns, and remember which digit goes where all in a matter of 0.03 seconds. Caslo somehow got hurt. I feel like the game is trying to get us to connect to Caslo in some way by going, oh no, look, your friend is hurt. You should be worried about him. But you end up not giving a rat's ass if he gets mauled by a wild squirrel from Sheffield. I have to carry on through the whatever this place is to get through the door, coming across these zombie things and more demon jocks. While going through this odd rendition of the London dungeons, I discovered that your hitbox is less like a human shape and more of an industrial fridge. You can get hit from anywhere on the map, and the enemies seem to have this magical ability of floating to your position immediately. Here's your first boss fight, and that's Sauron. That's a rip-off of Sauron. The boss fight is essentially a tougher version of each of these guys with a bit more variation in attack moves. It took me a bit of time to get rid of it. It's over. I got a bit of gear. Caslo went and left, and I'm left for myself to find him. I'm already upset. I only need one word to describe the gameplay. Broken. There, I'm done. Segment over. Oh, God. Right, where the hell do I start on this? Okay, like I said, gameplay is utterly broken. Nothing works like it should, so I'll start off with the attacks. You have 3 kinds of basic attacks: a heavy attack, a light attack, and an offhand attack. Let me get into the details about how none of them are of any use. We'll start off with your heavy attack. Apparently, attacking people with a weapon means projecting your attack as much as possible and taking as much time as possible while also giving off a very disappointing amount of damage. Not only is it so slow you can see a disabled turtle go faster, those attacks can be interrupted immediately, losing all of your stamina and losing a decent chunk of your health as a result. The offhand attack is really only used to get rid of your enemy's stamina. However, by the time your character goes around to finishing the action, the enemy is about 30 miles on the equator away and you've already lost your stamina, making it entirely useless. And here we have the only useful attack in the whole game, the light attack. It's fast, it does okay damage to normal enemies, but yet again can be easily interrupted, and considering the enemy have arms that are powered by nuclear lightning, they'll have no trouble in draining your stamina, making all your attacks utterly useless. Not only that, the enemy seems to have a stamina bar that goes down to the Mariana Trench and also regenerates faster than the rising tension in American politics, so really you need real life luck, not the in-game attribute to actually land any effective hits. And considering the size of your hitbox, how much you combat roll never matters that much. Even if you're all the way to Clacton Pier, the enemy can travel through 32 dimensions and 3 bus routes to hit you anyway. Lords of the Fallen is like Dark Souls' less talented, less successful younger brother. It's like Chris Evans' brother. No, that's still not accurate. At least here Evans can do a good job at acting. There is nothing good I can really say about the game. It does a ridiculously bad job of being a Dark Souls ripoff. Even the gauntlets are crap. Lords of the Fallen is one of the most unoriginal games I've ever played, and this critique will extend into my world and story sections too.
Are you listening?
Every level, every enemy, every friend, and every piece of equipment is either snowy grey, or edgy like that 14-year-old at school you think is a school shooter. All the visual design in this game is bland and dull, nothing colourful, nothing interesting, and it's all stereotypically dark fantasy to the point I can see the God Emperor through the cracks in the walls. It's like someone collected the worst aspects of Warhammer and a rock and smashed them together to make whatever this stool is. While saying this, I have to admire the artistry that went into the detail of the world. You can see that the art and level design team went into a lot of effort to make this game, but then the money guy stepped in and saw the game only had 2 levels finished and said, screw it, we'll release it, alright, you're fired. The sound design is fairly well done, everything is nice and clear, however, the voice acting is worse than an English anime dub. I could probably do a better job than these guys.
Harkin, what is your shower gel? You smell divine.
I think the actors were either devs or actual actors with equal or less interest in the project than I have. Genuinely, there is some awful voice acting in this game. Here, examples. Here, look.
You didn't need to get involved.
Just doing my job.
Spider venom. It burns like Adir himself touched it.
Not only did they steal my family valuables, but they've hidden the pathway.
The tear between the realms. A tear powerful enough to distort other ruptures.
I've played a lot of games where creativity is sorely void in the design of its world. To begin with, the game drops you into lore and throws all these big words at you like a sack of bricks and expecting you to understand all of it immediately. They dropped whatever the hell this thing is, then that guy, then this happened, then Harkin and Caslo, then this thing. I mean, I'm utterly confused. They dropped little audio logs all around the place, which still doesn't cement any kind of world building and only confuses me more. Who is Antanas? What is he talking about? What does he want? I don't know. The other thing is, nothing is interesting about the world either. It's all stereotype fantasy stuff. Big buff, Warhammer-looking motherfuckers, big pointless castles. I mean, seriously, what is this castle supposed to defend? What is it looking over? The mountains? Are the mountains in danger? There aren't even any villages. There isn't a big marker or anything here. What is this place for, except for some gay-ass monks doing nothing but humping each other every day? Oh, they hit the diversity quota with their one female character. Well done, that didn't feel forced. None of the enemies have much variation to them visually either, as well as the combat. They're all buff, demon dudes that for some reason glow up orange, and there's a fat one for some reason as well. They only had one dog thing, one weird Lovecraft thing, one type of spider, but otherwise everyone's a gym Satanist. Thankfully, the world doesn't expand beyond the Citadel and the Demon House, so at least the game can't bore me beyond that, and frankly, I think, if there was any more content, it would just be in the 5 stages of snowy rocks and alternating backtracking. The story is about this guy called Harkin. No, that's terrible. I'm doing something else. The story is about Barry, and my Barry is a warrior. This monastery is under attack by demon monsters called I don't know, and you have to save it and the rest of the world. So you go through here, up here, down that way, into this place, meet that dude, fight this thing, come back, fight this thing, go in here, go through there, fight this thing, come back, go in here, and immediately run back out, kill this thing, go back there, avoid this dude, go to this place, and then I gave up at this point because I completely ran out of patience, because then I found out I most likely have to grind to put any amount of damage on these enemies. I played 10 hours. Backtracked almost to the point where I found the developer's studio and back and suffered endless dark snowy grey hallways to find out I have to suffer through more endless dark snowy grey hallways to finish it. No, I'm not doing that. I've wasted too much time already. It's ridiculous. I'm sure you noticed one thing from my description of the story, that the whole thing was just fetch and kill quests without anything behind it besides, hey buddy, go over there to kill this. In order for you to kill some person for being bad and nothing else behind it apart from side characters with voice acting akin to breathing into a microphone and have as much substance as a gram of vegetable soup. Basically, there is no story. The developers wanted a reason to force you through these levels without having to think too hard, so they came up with kill this bad thing in order to save the world, which is quite common in games, I'll admit, but in other games at least it's fun. Another mistake they did was putting too much effort into an interesting world while neglecting the task of making an engaging story because it is so boring. No, really, look at my notebook. It says here, boring. The story is a steaming hot stream of turtle poop that is in no way captivating, interesting, or engaging to anyone alive unless they're missing a few tens of IQ points. No good characters, no good backstory, no good set pieces. I'd find a more interesting story in a game about a potato trying to avoid becoming chips. Man, this game was infuriating. Not only that the gameplay was broken beyond repair, but the whole thing was a citadel of wasted potential. I played plenty of knockoff games in my time, but boy do I tell you, this is one of the really bad ones. The shields had no point being in the game. The castle has no good reason to exist on that mountain apart from to show off and have muscly snowball fights. There aren't really any good weapons or ones that stood out, and I just want to fucking kill myself right now. I played 10 hours of this game. I reached this part right here, saw that fat fuck and thought, oh hell no, I am not fighting that thing. Not only that, I also came across this dude without knowing that his attacks were insta-kills, without doing what will probably be about 30 hours of grinding to get to a high enough level to deal his ass a severe smacking. And you know what? I gave up. There's only so much torture and stress I could put myself through to finish this damn game. It drove me nuts. Every boss, every room, hell, every step was a chore. And not washing the dishes kind of chore. I mean doing taxes, oh god, I want to kill my children kind of chore. I've never been so angry at a game for being so bad in my life. I got so furious I had to leave my desk, eat some stew, go for a dump, and go for a walk. Morning. Fuck you! And none of it worked. I was still sitting there in my living room reading Good Housekeeping with my brain switched on for murder the whole day. I'm never playing this game again. I don't want to see it, I don't want to touch it. Hell, if I come across it in game, I'll have another fit of autistic rage. My rating for this game is, please, for the love of God, don't make me play it again, sir. I've learned my lesson out of 7. Unless you're one of those weird folks that were into autocombobulated desperation or Play-Doh fascism, please don't subject yourself to this. Look, I'll make it easy. I'll put a stamp on it. No, I know it's not a wet floor, but that's not the point. Okay, thank you for watching episode 7. This one was, anyway, moving on. We all know why we're here. The giveaway results. Whoever won, I'll message you privately with the free Steam codes with whatever games you asked for. New giveaway. The game I'll be giving away this episode is Rust, so whoever wants a chance to win, again, reminder to comment, like, and subscribe to the channel. Video, whatever. The next episode, you might be the lucky winner of Rust.